Well, when you buy a new welder, you just gotta weld something. So, here's my story. I've been welding for quite a while, probably about 50 years or so. And I own a Millimatic 185 MIG welder, which is a fabulous machine, by the way. This unit's gotta be close to 35 years old, maybe 40 years old. And I also have a Prime Weld 225 TIG welder. But I decided I wanted to Flux Core weld. And although I've been welding forever, I never touched a Flux Core machine. So I decided to buy the Flux Core drive roller for my Miller 185. Not available. Out of production for well over 25 years, I was told. And if I could buy it, they were about $70 just for the roller. So I did some research, and I was surprised to find that Amazon has dozens of welders, Flux Core, under $200. As little as $129 you can buy a Flux Core welder. So after about 5 hours of research on Amazon, I decided to buy a Hynade welder. Now I have another video that I did a box opening and my first impressions, actually 2 other videos. So I won't really dive into how great this little machine is. But now that I had the machine, I had to make something with it. So years ago, I had this piece of plate, metal plate, and I would just put it on a couple of sawhorses to do some fabricating. Back then it didn't have these holes in it. It was just a metal plate, and I just laid it across a couple of sawhorses and used it as a table, as a welding table. Well, during COVID, I decided to step up my game, and I bought a Certiflat welding table. This table came with a whole bunch of metal. I had to weld it all together. It's on wheels, on casters. I made some boxes for nuts and bolts and whatnot. Found a little, actually a office filing cabinet that fit right in. I keep all welding paraphernalia and whatnot in it. I mounted a little vise on it. I've got a much bigger vise over in the other room. This vise is screwed down, and I can unbolt it, and it's mounted on a hinge, so I can get it completely out of the way. It'll just flip over if I want to do something. Now this table is almost always covered. Usually I had a piece of cardboard on it, but lately I went to the hardware store and I found this chalkboard, or dry erase board, I guess it's called. And it's really great because if you're doing a project, you can just scribble on it and then you can just wipe it right off. And by the way, if you get a chance, go to my website. There are just tons and tons and tons of articles on all kinds of garage entertainment. So anyways, this little table I built is all made out of 2x4 tubing. I found a guy in the next town over. He's got an old mill building and he is selling this stuff for $5 a foot. I bought a 10-foot piece and a 15-foot piece and a piece of diamond plate that's 20 inches wide by 8 feet long. Total price $150. I got to go back there and buy some more. And then, as I was leaving his place, I realized that there's a Harbor Freight just down the road. So I stopped in. And in the clearance area, they had this little work table for $15. So I mounted that too. Now, those of you that might be into tractors, farm equipment, you might recognize the colors. Yep, John Deere green and yellow. This is my electric conversion tractor, by the way. I digress. but I'm very proud of it. And again, go to my website, rvvprecision.com, and you can read all about electric tractors, conversions. Also, there are a bunch of videos. You can find them in my videos. Anyways, that's my little welding table. I bought these casters from Amazon. They're absolutely horrible. They're junk. They're a total waste of time. They don't stay locked in the down position. When you flip them up, unless the wheel is positioned properly, the table is still on its wheels, which is ridiculous. They're terrible. But anyways, they kind of work. So now I got myself a small fabrication table when the big table is being occupied or I'm using it for something else. I also went to Harbor Freight and I bought these real inexpensive clamps. I mean, these things go on sale for like $5 a piece, something like that. I cut the end off, turned down some 5/8 inch pieces, welded a washer, and they just simply attach and lock down, and they do a great job. And you're looking at like $5 a piece. If you don't have a lathe, but you got a welder, you can just use 5/8 inch bolts. Just go to the hardware store and buy some 5/8 inch bolts. And that'll work too. So anyways, that's my story. Love this little welder. This entire device, this entire welding table was made with the little Flux Core machine. I never hit a duty cycle. It just did a beautiful job on the welds. I'm still learning Flux Core. I'm still learning this whole thing. If it slags, you drag. Sometimes I still think I'm using a MIG welder where I can go back over and stack dimes. Well, you can't do that with Flux Core. But still, it did a nice job. Surprised at how quiet it is. It doesn't make a lot of noise. Not a lot of sparks. Not a lot of little BBs flying all over the place. Just a really, really nice welder for $200. Simply amazing that you can buy something like that for $200. And I'm here to tell you, if you've never welded before, a monkey could operate this welder. It's so simple. It has real easy controls. It'll self-set. If you select a particular wire feed, it will basically select the voltage. Very easy to use. I love it. Well, anyways, this is my welding shop. Welcome to it. And please subscribe and hit that like button. It'll really help things. Thank you.